What's up YouTube, it's Eric Kelly, aka the Tech Gentleman, bringing you guys another video. Today we're going to be comparing the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3. Before I get going though, I want to remind you guys, make sure you hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll have links in the description below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you got any comments or questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I'll make sure to get back to you. But without further ado, let's talk tech. Alright guys, like I said, I got the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 here. Today I want to answer a simple question. If you have a Z Fold 2, should you upgrade to the Z Fold 3? And what are some of the major differences? I think one of the major initial differences is going to be the front display. So on the Z Fold 2, you have a 60Hz display, and on the Z Fold 3, you have a 90Hz display. I think that this is somewhat significant just because people end up interacting with this front display a lot more than they do on the inside, just because most of the things that you're doing it with one hand, doing your regular phone stuff, looking at text messages, looking at notifications, looking at social media, even checking emails. You can kind of do that on the front display. Most people that I talk to, including myself, end up interacting with this display a lot more. So that's one quality of life improvement, going from the 60 on the Z Fold 2 to the 120 on the Z Fold 3. Another one is the Z Fold 3 is noticeably lighter than the Z Fold 2. So if you kind of were annoyed a little bit with the weight, the physical size is still pretty similar between the two devices. The hinge is a little bit slimmer on the Z Fold 3, so they've kind of shrunken it down a little bit. As you can see, it doesn't stick out quite as much on the 3 compared to the 2. But overall, it's still a very chunky device. You're still going to feel it in your pocket, still going to be weighty. And when you open them up, the screens are very similar still as well. On this one, kind of a point of controversy. On the Z Fold 3, you now have the under display camera. And you can kind of see it, you know, they do have a little pixel array covering the camera. And if you go into the camera, you can actually see that they open it up. There, get that in focus. Yeah, you can see that they basically make the pixels go transparent, and you can see through it, but the quality of the image is still noticeably worse than on the Z Fold 2. So depending on the type of lifestyle that you live, if you're somebody that used that front camera on the inside a lot, then that might be something for you to consider. Okay, so the camera on the Z Fold 2, like I say, there's no color pixels going over it. So it's a clearer image, cleaner image, and a higher pixel count on that camera. Another, somewhat improvement, if you're kind of a clean freak, the Z Fold 3 does have a matte finish. Does a great job of hiding fingerprints. Z Fold 2, a fingerprint magnet. Look at this. I've been wiping this down all day. You got to keep one of these with you, or keep it in a case. And that's, like I say, that's nothing functional, but just a quality of life difference between the devices. Something else major on the Z Fold 3, it's going to be water resistance. You do have IP8 water resistance on here. No dust resistance, but you do get water resistance. The buttons and the build quality, it just feels tighter. Like I say, it feels a little bit lighter, feels a little bit more refined on here. The Z Fold 2 though, I mean, it's still a great device. It still feels great in the hand. They didn't change much about it. They just kind of picked areas to make subtle improvements and came out with the Z Fold 3. My take on it right now is the Z Fold 3 and even the Flip 3. These are all devices that are kind of targeting people that don't have a foldable already. All right, if you have a Z Fold 2, Samsung wasn't worried about you when they made the 3. They were just trying to improve the 3 enough to where they can have some talking points and kind of keep building the confidence around foldable devices, around their durability, around their just functionality in your everyday life. And like I say, for me, I'm a fold guy all day. I've been using the Z Flip 3 for about a week now. It's a cool phone, but I think at the end of the day, most people will agree, once you pull up somewhere and you're able to fold open your phone and you get this experience right here, the full screen. Whatever you're doing just looks better on this huge 120 hertz screen. Both the screens still look great. I thought that initially there might have been some, improvement in the crease, but I think the crease is pretty much the same on both of these devices. It still pretty much goes away when you're looking at it in your everyday life. Like I say, on the Fold, when it's opened, you rarely come across the crease just because of how you hold it and where your hands go. So not many improvements there. I think there might be something big they talk about next year or something like that, but they do tout stronger glass and stronger aluminum. They call it this special armor aluminum. So that's something that is it stronger? It might be. I won't be finding out. But the major difference, it has to be the S Pen. So Samsung took a major gamble this year and they nixed the Note, and right now your only option for an S Pen enabled phone for the second half of the year is going to be the Fold3. And being an avid Note user, I can't say that this is a viable option. All right, it feels good. It doesn't feel like you're writing on plastic. Doesn't feel like you have a compromised experience. It is just a very, very nice device, especially since the pen is bigger. The only compromise is there's no place to stick it into the device. Right? I think that's something that a lot of people are wanting. Even if you're able to kind of magnetically attach it to it somehow, that would be cool. You do have a case that has like a little channel that you can add on and remove for the S Pen. There are definitely mixed feelings about that, and I don't think this is the final form of the S Pen. I think they were just trying to get it out there, test the waters, and see how people will react with the idea that there's no Note, and your only way to get a Note-like device outside of an S21 Ultra is the Z Fold 3. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions about these two devices, anything you're curious about, make sure you hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I have links in the description below, and also hit me up in the comments. But until next time, guys, I'll talk to you. Peace.